At the DiMera mansion, Gwen is in a panic when Rita shows up. Neither knows where EJ is. Rafe barges in, having learned EJ is missing, and asks for the key to the crypt to search it. Rita explains that a key won't work because EJ had the crypt sealed a couple of years ago. Rafe orders her to unseal it and call him when it's happening. Rafe leaves, and Rita tells Gwen they need to just soldier on, and until EJ returns, she's calling the shots. Rita asks Gwen about someone tipping the police off to Dr. Rolf working in the basement. Gwen says EJ believes it was Leo, but she assures Rita it wasn't him. She asks Rita not to go after Leo and leave him to her. Rita realizes Gwen has a score to settle with him, and she respects that. At Johnny and Chanel's, Johnny rants to his wife that he had to grade his class's take-home test on a curve because everyone failed it. As a college professor myself, I can attest to the fact that yes, students fail take-home exams all the time. Paulina shows up and is clearly upset. She tells Johnny that his father is the latest DiMera to go missing. Johnny doesn't understand how this has happened, and Paulina says they will find EJ and the others. Johnny asks what the police are thinking, as there has to be a reason his family is being targeted. Paulina says nobody knows anything. There have been no ransom demands or word from the abductor. Johnny realizes there is no way to know if his dad or the others are even alive. Paulina heads out after exchanging hugs and telling them to call her if they need anything. Later, Johnny recalls his dad asking him to take the CEO spot at DiMera and wonders if that were the last time he would ever speak to his father. Johnny then calls his mom to tell her the news and to reassure her that they're being careful. After the call, Johnny tells Chanel that his mom is upset and Sydney is a wreck. Chanel embraces her husband. At the Hernandez home, Gabby is hard at work making something in the kitchen when she snaps at Javi for telling Rafe that she had a motive to want to disappear the DiMeras. Javi says neither he nor Rafe thinks she did it, but Gabby feels she can't trust him, given all the secrets she told him. As Gabby rants about everything she's told him, she wonders if he tattled to his journalist husband-to-be. Leo walks in and assures her that Javi never told him anything about her, but she just aired out all her dirty laundry for him to overhear. Javi asks Leo to pretend he didn't hear anything Gabby said. Leo says he'll forget it all after Gabby tells him how she screwed over Xander and Philip, giving DiMera to Tony and what was in it for her. Gabby refuses to say another word, and that's when Ari arrives. She can sense something is going on. Javi says he and Leo were just leaving, and they walk out. Ari senses something is wrong and asks her mom what is going on. Gabby says she did something stupid and is just hoping it doesn't come back to bite her. Ari gets the feeling her mom doesn't want to say more, and she just hopes things will be okay. Gabby changes the subject and asks about her winter break plans and the internship at Titan. Ari says there is no internship and Titan is falling apart right now. However, Grandma Kate offered to put a good word in for her at DiMera. Gabby blurts out, "Like hell she will." Javi and Leo walk through Horton Square. Javi believes Gabby will get over this and forgive him in time, and Leo says he'll keep his mouth shut. Gwen appears and basically hopes Leo takes his own advice regarding EJ and the clinic as well, and he is lucky EJ disappeared before Leo had to face the consequences for snooping. Leo is shocked EJ has gone missing, and Gwen again tells him to keep his mouth shut unless he wants to be the next great unsolved mystery. Leo refuses to shut up or back down, so Gwen says he'll find himself in the afterlife if he doesn't. At the hospital, Kat talks to Mark, who is looking for EJ. Kat tells her brother that EJ is the latest DiMera to have gone missing. She warns him that sooner or later, the police are going to come knocking on that lab door with questions, and he had better have answers unless he wants to go back to Statesville. Kat asks Mark to confide in her as to what he's doing for EJ, but he assures her that he'll be fine. He hugs her and then rushes off. Kat then calls Rafe and asks to see him as it's urgent. Rafe shows up and she fills him in on her brother's shoddiness. Rafe says he'll go to the clinic and talk to him and refuses to allow Kat to come with him. Rita shows up later to have a word with Kat. She says EJ is likely relying on them to keep things humming along until he returns. She says she'll let Kat know if she hears anything, and Kat says she'll do the same. Meanwhile, Rafe pounds on the lab door. Mark opens the door, and Rafe shoves his way in, asking about EJ. Mark admits he hasn't heard from EJ in days. Rafe says he knows all about Mark's history, and if he sees or hears anything, he will let him know, or he'll have his parole revoked. Rafe then departs. Once Rafe is gone, Mark heads into the back secret lab where Rolf is hard at work. Mark asks if he knows where EJ is and why it is so cold in this lab. Rolf is aware that EJ is going missing, and he is in the middle of something. Mark demands answers now and what he is doing back here. Rolf looks at the bizarre, green glowing capsule. At home, Johnny tells Chanel he feels so useless right now. Chanel assures him that isn't the case, and he is where he is supposed to be right now. He is keeping himself, her, and their baby safe. At their place, Gabby tells Ari that Dimera is a snake pit, and the family is a bunch of miserable degenerates. Gabby says as long as she lives under her roof, her rules go, and no daughter of hers will work for Dimera, period. At the hospital, Kat and Rafe reconnect, and Rafe tells her Mark didn't have much to say. Kat says her brother hasn't given her a reason not to trust him. She says they must find a way to work together and get past their mutual mistrust. In Horton Square, Leo tells Gwen he's not letting this story go. He asks Gwen what her little chat with EJ at the gala was about, knowing it had something to do with the delivery. Gwen becomes flustered, and he asks what the delivery was. Gwen refuses to be interrogated and storms off. In the lab, Rolf tells Mark that once the animal research yields results, the rest of the plan can proceed. Mark asks if someone is in the capsule, but Rolf won't answer any more questions. No matter the cost, they must succeed. Finally, Johnny gets another visitor. This time it's Rita. She tells him they have a code red emergency, and he needs to step up to run Dimera. Johnny says the answer is no, but Rita won't accept that.